We are joined now by Tony Ranta, who is the Executive Secretary, Nigeria National Summit Group. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Good morning.
Well, this call, let's see, putting it in context, I mean, some put it in different contexts, and they think that, look, coming at this time, well, some even think at least it's still coming because it's addressing part of what we've been talking about now. But when you heard him say that, how seriously or otherwise did you take it?
Very seriously. We must remember that the call for a national conference, albeit then a sovereign national conference, began in the early 90s. Akaba Shonu, Gani Fayemi, Wole Soyinka, Chibantina Nahuru, Beko Ransom Kuti, all started advocating for this, Balarabe Musa and others, culminating in the Prodaco convocation of what they called, or what we called, because I was part of it, a sovereign national conference. But in recent times, more astute observers of global politics and geopolitics have come to understand that truly you cannot have a sovereign national conference so designated from the beginning, where there are already state assemblies, state governors, a national assembly, the president, that's elected and appointed representatives of the people. Yes, sovereignty resides in the people, but we have ceded quite some percentage of that sovereignty by electing these people into office. So there has been a change. The Nigerian National Summit Group, led by Alhaji Tanko Yakosai, with other prominent members, has decided from last year to seek for a national dialogue or national conference without emphasizing the word sovereign. We however believe that since truly the people must be the last decision-making group, there should be a resort to a national referendum at the end of a national conference and a constituent assembly.
Irrespective of what the outcome is.
Irrespective of what it is. So what we are even advocating right now, whilst the constitutional review is ongoing, is that if they don't even change anything else, they should add that there be a national referendum for any future reviews or wholesome creation of a constitution. We have seen the president of this country state severally, especially this year, and more recently, about a month ago, that he is very much in support of a national dialogue. But he said also that he was not sure how the National Assembly or other assemblies would react to the sovereignty clause.
You know, that's one of the issues, sorry to brought in there, because the problem is that we had just a few Nigerians who were actually calling for a dialogue, irrespective of what name to call it. But now we're getting to hear on a daily basis or even weekly now that some other politicians and notable Nigerians have added their voices to the call for us to dialogue. The president has done that, and now we're getting to hear from the Senate president as well. What is it you think that we have started seeing that is making us understand the need for us to talk?
I don't think it's anything new. Remember that in 1998, the then General Obasanjo, when he just came out of prison, strongly advocated for a national conference. It was when he became president that he reneged, changed his position. He's on record. Different papers still have it. I still Googled him up this morning. But recently, we have noticed, like the Senate President said, the fallout, the negative fallouts of your running a unitary system without fairness, justice, equity, which have resulted in things like Boko Haram, the Niger Delta militancy, the Ombatse killings. These are serious security issues, apart from the economic or social injustices that also are pervading at this moment. It's therefore is right, it's timely. And we congratulate the Senate for taking the lead, whilst we look forward to hearing from Aminu Tambuwal and the rest of them in the House.
But, I want to go back to the President's comment and even fears or worry, let me use the word worry, on how we hope to achieve all of this talk. Now, we want to talk, some will argue, what would then be the task of the National Assembly in all of this? Doesn't this, in a way, usurp the powers or the responsibilities given to the National Assembly?
The National Assembly basically is there, let's say the House and the Senate, they are there to carry out oversight functions, they are there to make laws for the nation. The Constitution is not a law. They are not a constitution-making body. They can review the Constitution, but they can't create a brand new Constitution. And they cannot take on the role of deciding how to restructure this nation. This nation has been founded on illegalities, injustices, right from the beginning. Got worse from 1966 with the introduction of unitary system of government. And if you remember what Awo said, all the way back in 1949, he said, any attempt to force a unitary government on a multilingual or multi-ethnic nation or nation state will end in disaster. And we're seeing the disaster right now. It's looming us in the face. We are seeing people carrying out clear acts of impunity.
Mr. Uranta, how do we have the makeup of people that will sit and dialogue and talk about these issues? Because for some, they understand that, well, in every divide of the nation, we have some people that ordinarily would have been able to, or should I say, lead the way, show the light in helping solve some of these anomalies in the country, but they haven't actually done that. Will this supposed conference bring such individuals in, and what will be the terms of, should I say, agreement of that particular conference?
I want to remind you that since April of last year, the Nigerian National Assembly Group sort of went underground. But all this period, we've been, to use a wide, a common phrase of politicians, we've been consulting widely. And we've been carrying out quite a bit of sensitization.
Across the country?
Across the country. Across the country. The decision by many people, so by certain groups, to still insist on having a sovereign national conference, for example, is saying that you're going to exclude government from that. No. It has to be an all-inclusive conference where security agencies, the military, the executives of national, federal, and local governments, the assemblies or legislatures of the three tiers also, the justice, all these areas must be included. Now, we have worked out, and we'll be releasing soon after we present to the President and the leadership of the Senate and the leaderships in the states and local governments, what we believe is a very doable and workable formula. I may not be able to go into excessive details now, but I want to say that we cannot just say a national conference of ethnic nationalities. Where do you leave the civil society organizations? There are certain very key, poignant civil society organizations, Save Nigeria Group.
If everybody comes on board, will they achieve the kind of results?
Yes, I think so. What do we really want is we want to build on our commonalities and see how we can level out our differences. One thing, whilst we're not saying there's going to be or there should be a no-go area, I have found out, or we have found out from interacting across the nation in the last 1+ years, especially, that virtually every Nigerian wants Nigeria to remain united. And I say this very boldly, Nigeria is better off as one nation, one strong nation, but one nation premised on justice, on equity, on equality, and very importantly, on democracy.